Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and this is Express News. President Draupadi Murmu addressed a public function at Senapati in Manipur on Friday. She spoke about the Maram tribe, a vulnerable tribal group, and the significant role it plays in India's cultural diversity. As part of the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam campaign, President Murmu planted a bale tree locally known as Hari Khagok at Lok Bhavan in Imphal. The President offered prayers at the Sri Sri Govindaji temple in Imphal, a historic centre of Vaishnavite devotion. The President paid her respects to brave women warriors of Manipur at the Nupi Lal Memorial Complex in Imphal. The memorial is a tribute to the sacrifice of Manipuri women against British and feudal powers. The cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday, approved the proposal to conduct Census 2027, the world's largest administrative and statistical exercise, with an allocation of 11,718.2 crore rupees. The cabinet also approved minimum support price for copra for 2026 season. The MSP for 2026 season is an increase of Rs 445 per quintal for milling copra. External Affairs Ministry Secretary South Neena Malhotra said that Prime Minister Modi will be on a three-nation visit from 15th to 18th December. She said that at the invitation of King Abdullah II bin Al Hussein, Prime Minister will embark on a bilateral visit to Jordan from 15 to 16 December, coinciding with the 75 years of India-Jordan diplomatic relations. Addressing the winter session in the lower house of Parliament, Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu said a tariff monitoring unit has been created in the DGCA to ensure proper pricing of airfares. Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has said that in a landmark move, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Rules 2025 have been amended to offer ease of business and operations. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal held a meeting with New Zealand's Minister of Trade and Investment Todd McClay in New Delhi on Friday. In their discussion, they focused on key aspects of the India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement and explored ways to advance the negotiations. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met Sri Lanka's High Commissioner Maheshini Kolone and reiterated India's steadfast commitment to continued support for Sri Lanka's early recovery and reconstruction efforts after Cyclone Ditwa. The Foreign Secretary handed over essential life-saving medicines, the full consignment of which will be airlifted by an Indian Air Force C-17 to Colombo under Operation Sagar Bandhu. Home Minister Amit Shah participated in an event in Andaman and Nicobar Islands to mark the 115th anniversary of Veer Savarkar's iconic patriotic song Sagara Pran Talamala. He termed the island a sacred land where freedom fighters sacrificed their lives. The inaugural session of the India-Greece Maritime Security Dialogue was held on 11 December in Athens, Greece. Greece's Deputy Foreign Minister Alexandra Papadopoulou and Joint Secretary Moanpe Swavi co-chaired the talks. India and Italy signed the Joint Commission for Economic Cooperation Protocol on Thursday in the presence of Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal and Italy's Deputy Prime Minister Antonio Tajani. Addressing a press conference on Friday, Culture and Tourism Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat said India's progress depends on a strong infrastructure, adding that in past decade the country has witnessed an unprecedented growth in road and highway development. The Assam Police SIT filed a charge sheet in the death of music icon Zubeen Garg at the Chief Judicial Magistrates Court in Guwahati. Based on statements from 7 inmates and over 200 witnesses, the nearly 7,000-page report comes after Gug's death in Singapore on 19 September. 7 persons present during the incident have been arrested. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav on Friday declared the central Indian state completely free from Naxalite menace, marking a major victory in India's decades-long fight against left-wing extremism. Indian equity indices ended on a positive note in a volatile trade on Friday. At close, the Sensex jumped 450 points to settle at 85,268. Nifty surged 148 points to 26,047. Gold futures maturing on 5th February were priced at 134,100 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for 5th March maturity stood at 199,446 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. The Indian rupee slumped 10 paise to close at all-time low of 90.42 against the US dollar. Oil prices rose on Friday, supported by concerns of Venezuelan supply disruptions. Brent crude futures rose 0.54% to $61.61 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude was up 0.61% at $57.95 a barrel. Microsoft unveiled an AI-powered cybercrime investigation platform in Mumbai on Friday. It was developed in partnership with the Maharashtra government. The platform is operational in 23 police stations in Nagpur. Microsoft chairperson and CEO Satya Nadella and Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis held talks on AI-driven governance and digital safety. Addressing an event in Mumbai, Microsoft CEO said the platform will help the Maharashtra police to investigate cases faster, more smartly and more securely across the state. Argentina's inflation inched up slightly in November, driven by higher housing, utility and food prices, but analysts expect the annual rate to continue easing by the end of 2025. Thailand's Prime Minister Anuthin Charnavirakul dissolved parliament on Friday, clearing the way for a general election next year amid deadly border clashes with Cambodia. Renewed heavy fighting between Thailand and Cambodia has killed at least 20 people, wounded nearly 200 and displaced more than 600,000, most of them Thai nationals. India expressed concern over reports of damage to conservation facilities at the Previhir temple amid the ongoing Thailand-Cambodia border clashes. US President Trump announced that the US will send a representative to participate in upcoming Ukraine-related talks in Europe. The Kremlin Foreign Policy aide Yuri Ushakov said on Friday that a ceasefire in Ukraine is only possible after Kyiv withdraws its forces from the entire Donbas region. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv has held discussions with the US on potential security guarantees for Ukraine. President Zelensky lauded that meaningful security guarantees would be impossible without Europe and Ukraine's wider coalition of partners, from Canada and Japan to Australia and New Zealand. European Union governments started a process to freeze Russian central bank assets immobilized in Europe for the long term, paving the way for their potential use to support Ukraine. In Venezuela, President Nicolas Maduro condemned the US for seizing a sanctioned tanker carrying nearly 1.9 million barrels of crude, calling the operation criminal naval piracy. US President Trump said the US will soon begin strikes to interdict narcotic shipments making their way from Venezuela to the US via land routes. Amid escalating tensions, US helicopters were spotted in Puerto Rico airfield on Thursday, reflecting Washington, D.C.'s ongoing Caribbean military buildup. Iraq's former President Barham Saleh will become the next High Commissioner for Refugees for the United Nations, a letter showed on Friday. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Mohammad Sohaib Afridi has accused Pakistani authorities of mistreating former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi in the Adiala jail. US Army soldiers took part in the first US Army Europe and Africa Best Drone Warfighter competition at Germany's Grafenwohr training area, testing their skills in simulated urban strike missions. US President Trump signed an executive order that will allow artificial intelligence to work within a single national framework in the country. Turkmenistan's capital Ashgabat hosted a one-day International Peace and Security Forum that marks the 30th anniversary of the former Soviet nation's neutrality. Turkmenistan's President Sardar Berdimuhamedov welcomed leaders of Russia, Turkey, Iran and other countries on Friday. Russia's President Vladimir Putin took part in a wreath-laying ceremony in Ashgabat. President Putin is expected to hold bilateral meetings with other leaders on Friday. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele welcomed his Costa Rican counterpart Rodrigo Chavez. Both leaders discussed issues including President Bukele's tough stance on crime. Chile's presidential candidate Jose Antonio Cas speaks with supporters at final campaign rally in Temuco. Chileans will head to the polls to choose their next president on 14th December. Time for a short break. Keep watching DD India.
Green technology can really help protect our planet if it doesn't harm our communities in the process.
The solar panels of all the 5 sets cumulative is around 80 kilowatt. So per year there is a saving of around 1 lakh units.
As long as you have high concentrations versus low, then you can sort of harvest energy this way.
Each village has its own unique problems. We need to develop a scientifically sound yet simple model that local people can understand and implement.
Work outdoors where environmental conditions constantly change. Some weeds are larger, some smaller with different leaf shapes. With AI, many of them can be learned and controlled much more easily. That's why AI is a small revolution in this field.
Welcome back. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and you're watching Express News on DD India. In the US, heavy rains have triggered major flooding across western Washington state, submerging roads, cutting power and prompting school closures. The governor of Washington state, Bob Ferguson, declared a statewide emergency as record flooding triggers evacuations and road closures. An extratropical cyclone has wreaked havoc across Sao Paulo's metropolitan area in Brazil, knocking out power to more than 1 million homes and businesses. The extratropical cyclone in Sao Paulo brought down trees and power lines, cutting power and disrupting flights and water services across the city. Storm Byron has slammed into Israel and the Palestinian West Bank, unleashing heavy rains, strong winds and severe flooding across the region. In Israel, drivers were trapped in their vehicles as floodwaters surged, forcing emergency crews to evacuate people from multiple locations. An earthquake with a magnitude of 6.9 hit Japan's northeastern region, injuring at least 50. In Japan, another earthquake struck off the coast of Aomori Prefecture with depth of 20 kilometers after a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit the same region on Monday. With the onset of winter across Tamil Nadu's Nilgiris district, the region witnessed a sharp and noticeable dip in temperatures, leading to major frosting and intense cold. A chilly cold wave has tightened its grip on the Ooty Hills, with recording temperatures of 4.1 degrees Celsius. A sixth women's group arrived at the ongoing fourth edition of the Kashi Tamil Sangamam in Varanasi. The event features temple visits, cultural displays and interactive sessions, fostering unity under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat campaign. During a state visit to Suriname in South America, Queen Maxima of the Netherlands wore a green sari as a tribute to the Hindu community. Accompanied by her husband, King Willem-Alexander, the Queen's outfit acknowledged Hinduism, the second largest religion in Suriname. France's internationally renowned Rungis market is gearing up to meet high holiday demand, with wholesalers ramping up sales as the season accounts for 25% of their annual turnover. A pipeline leak in Brandenburg, Germany spilled 200,000 liters of oil. Around 100 emergency personnel are working to contain the spill from the key fuel supply line serving the Berlin-Brandenburg region. A rare violin crafted by master luthier Guarnere del Gesu is set to go under the hammer in Paris on 16th December with an expected price of around €2 million. The instrument was made between 1727 and 1730. A violin created by Stradivari's famed rival is on display at Arturial Auction House near the Champs-Élysées. British scientists led by the Black Swimming Association and the University of Portsmouth found that people of African, Caribbean and Asian heritage can float, with about 90% of 96 participants floating for 2 minutes. The study showed body fat, not bone density, affects buoyancy. In Australia, authorities released footage on Thursday showing a skydiver dangling thousands of meters after their parachute caught on a plane's tail. The September stunt near Cairns ended safely and was revealed after a safety investigation. A theme park in Colombia marked the holidays with Christmas-themed enrichment for rescued animals. Lions, hippos and big cats enjoyed decorated food and toys while visitors watched them interact with festive gifts. Homes in Feltham, England were lavishly decorated for Christmas on Wednesday to raise money for charities, including Shooting Star Children's Hospice. The tradition began in memory of a child who passed away at the age of 4. Britain's Queen Camilla hosted an early Christmas party for children in hospice care on Thursday at Clarence House, London, with festive lunch, tree decorating, gifts and a chance to feed Santa's reindeers. Malaysia's Scuba Santa is attracting crowds with an underwater show at the Aquaria in Kuala Lumpur as part of the annual Christmas festivities at the water park. Millions of cyclists, runners, rollerbladers and pedestrians take over Bogota's streets during Colombia's nocturnal Christmas cycle. Over 95 kilometers of roads are open to the public, blending recreation, sustainability and festive celebrations ahead of Christmas. Pilgrims in Mexico trek for days to the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe near the Popocatépetl volcano. Each year, millions make the journey, with many crawling or carrying heavy icons to show devotion, offer prayers or seek blessings. Lagos in Nigeria is hosting its first street art festival called Legendary Lagos City of Dreams, where 12 artists, 9 Nigerian and 3 international, are creating bold murals across the city to make art accessible and inspire social change. Oscar-winning US director, producer and screenwriter James L. Brooks was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in the US city of Los Angeles on Thursday. US actor Sigourney Weaver, along with her co-stars, attended a London photo call for the film Avatar: Fire and Ash, posing near Tower Bridge in front of a large burning letter A. The film is the third installment in the blockbuster franchise. US singer Billie Eilish's 3D concert film Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour, co-directed with James Cameron, highlights her 106-show world tour and is set for release in cinemas on the 20th of March. A French independent video game swept the Game Awards on Thursday, winning Game of the Year and multiple other top awards. Released in April 2025, it has sold millions and earned widespread acclaim. Warner Brothers released the first trailer for the highly anticipated Supergirl on Thursday. Starring Australian actress Millie Alcock, the film will hit theatres globally on 24th of June. Indian music maestro A.R. Rahman will receive the Lakshmi Narayana International Award on 15th December at the curtain raiser for the 35th Lakshmi Narayana Global Music Festival in Chennai. The award honors legendary artists for their contributions to the arts. Hindi cinema actor Salman Khan posed with Hollywood's Johnny Depp at the 5th Red Sea Film Festival in Saudi Arabia. He also joined an interactive session and walked the red carpet with the moments shared on social media. Legendary English rock band Def Leppard is set to perform in India in March, with shows in Shillong on 25th March, Mumbai on 27th March and Bengaluru on 29th March. Actor Rajinikanth's 75th birthday turned into a nationwide celebration on Friday, coinciding with his 50th year in cinema. Fans of Rajinikanth marked this double milestone with early morning shows, cutouts and fireworks for the remastered 4K re-release of his movie Padayappa. The countdown has begun for the highly awaited Lionel Messi GOAT Tour of India. The Argentine legend and FIFA World Cup winner is set to land in Kolkata in the early hours of 13th December. In Kolkata, Messi will unveil his biggest ever statue, a 70-foot structure, virtually from his hotel because of security concerns. Messi will also visit Hyderabad, Mumbai and New Delhi as part of his 3-day visit, with each city hosting unique programs. Two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen will headline the Indian squad at the Badminton Asia Team Championships in China next year. India's star pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty will lead the doubles unit at the tournament in February. Tennis legend Roger Federer will launch next year's Australian Open on the 17th of January. The International Hockey Federation has announced that Chile, Egypt and India will host the 2026 Hockey World Cup qualifiers. India ended at 10th place in the FIH Junior Women's Hockey World Cup after a 1-2 defeat against Spain in their final match in Chile. Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat, who was disqualified from the wrestling finals at the 2024 Olympics because of being overweight, has decided to come out of retirement. South Africa's wicketkeeper batter Quinton de Kock said that he had retired from international cricket as he had lost his hunger to win games for his team. Jacob Duffy's 5-wicket haul passed Championship final with a 9-wicket victory over the West Indies in a second test. A fan group called the Football Supporters Europe has urged FIFA to immediately halt the sale of World Cup tickets over exorbitant prices. All eyes are on Mohamed Salah's uncertain future at Liverpool, as the superstar has hinted that Saturday's match against Brighton could be his last for the club. And Morocco advanced to the semi-finals of the FIFA Arab Cup with a 1-0 win over Syria. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Jaipur.